Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Marketing Made Simple show. Right, today we're going to talk about what character you have created. This is for yourself, by the way, and I'm going to show you why this links back to marketing right at the end, so do stick around. Now, what I want you to think about is the character that you are and the person that you've created. So we'll take me, for example, John Covey. Well, John Covey is a character. It's somebody that I've created, and I've created this for lots of different reasons. You know, lots of different reasons is the reason I created this. It could be because something's happened in the past, so it made me act a certain way, and that's formed part of a character who I am. It could be a trauma, it could have been some kind of incident, it could have been something that's happened to me that's made me shape myself in a certain way. It could be, a belief. It could be something that I've watched or read or seen or, I've witnessed, and it's allowed me to create a character for who I am. And this character has been the person that's been serving me for my life. And this is the character that you create for everything that you do. The relationships that you have, the relationships with money that you have, the relationships with your business or your career or the job, the friends, the people that you meet, the way that you respond in situations. These are often known as paradigms, but we're going to call it a character. So what paradigm have you created? What character have you created for yourself? Do you tell yourself that you are, these things don't happen to people like me? This is one of the things that I always remember telling my parents when I was growing up. Listen, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to do really well for myself. And I remember my parent, or certainly my mom, no disrespect to my mom, she's a wonderful woman, but she said, listen, Jonathan, it's a pipe dream. That's a pipe dream. And I think that it's very easy for us to fall into the belief that that's actually the reality and that's true. And I always thought differently. I thought, no, do you know what? If it's to be, it is up to me. I have to make the decisions. I change things, and I can shape my life how I want it to be. Might be a challenge, might be difficult, but I'm going to do this. And I think a lot of parents, and I'm sure there's a lot of things I've said as a parent that's harmful to our children when we actually do it to protect them. And so this all starts to forge and build a character, a paradigm, a belief structure, a system that we operate and live within. So this is powerful for you because if you can identify why it's there, what is it that it's protecting you from? What is it that's allowing you, what it's allowing you to become, to do, to act, to respond? Is it keeping you safe? Is it allowing you to find motivation and drive forward? What's the thing that is holding you into that character? Because I can guarantee you, the thing that you created, this character that you created, that did once upon a time serve you, is probably not serving you anymore. It's holding you back. It's stopping you from accelerating to the place, to the person, to the things that you actually want right now. So, what's the reason for this? Is it something that you are using as a protection? Is it something that you feel comfortable with? Is it because it's a belief system? And once you start to get into the psyche of this, once you start to understand this, everything else makes much more sense. And one of the things that I've said for such a long time is the more I understood me, the better everybody else seemed to make much more sense. I'll say that again because this is powerful for you to understand this. The more I understood about me, the people around me and everyone that I met just made so much more sense when they understood more about myself. And this is powerful for your marketing because if you can start to understand more about the people that you're selling to, if you can start to understand the pain, the challenges, the things that's holding them back, the things that's keeping them where they are, the character that they've created, then your messages become so much more powerful. They just change the game. And so one of the things that you have to look to do, and this can apply for yourself as well, if you find yourself in that development stage where you created that character, well, you have to look at where that's from because it's always from childhood. We know this. Psychologists tell us that we are a living version of that child. We're probably a 7-year-old in an adult's body. And what you've got to look at is what's the thing that's holding you there, that character that you created when you were 6 or 5 or 7 or 10 or whatever that would be. Like, what is that story? What is the thing that's holding you back and keeping you there? Because if you can heal the child, the boy will appear or the girl will appear. You will heal the child and that adult will start to manifest and show themselves. So it's about killing the character that you once created to create room for the new one, for you to be able to go and push forward. I remember watching the film Spartan. That wasn't Spartan actually, it was 300, where I believe it was Russell Crowe. Or was it Gerard Butler? I forget who it was. It was somebody. I think it might have been Gerard Butler. And one of the things that they did as children, they sent them out to the woods to go and find, I think it was wolves or whatever it was, but they had to fight them. And they came back as men. They went as boys, but they returned as men because that was what they had to do. They had to kill the child for the man to appear. This is what we're looking at doing with the marketing. We're looking at how you can find that story that's holding people back, that's stopping them from accelerating into the life that they want. And that's your marketing message. Like for yourself, you know, you need to maybe remove that cloak that you've been carrying around for a while, that boy, that girl, that child that you've got inside you. Because, listen, we all have these limiting beliefs, these stories that we tell ourselves. And sometimes we need to create a new character. You know, you look at people like Beyonce. Beyonce's created a character. So when she's on stage and when she's performing, she's not Beyonce, she's Sasha Fierce. We have this, we see it in films. Superman, he's the alter ego to Clark Kent. So maybe a good example for you would be to create an alter ego, and that might help you get into the psyche of your client, your prospects a little bit better as well. Now, I did that for myself. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about my background. You've probably seen it before, but I'll tell you really briefly now. I dropped out of school at 14. I came from I'm a council estate kid. I dropped out of school at 14. I got no business experience, but I'm doing well. I've got a property portfolio. I've run several businesses, and I live a very rich lifestyle. It's fantastic. Now, that's very easy for me to look back at that and say, you know what, John, that's not for you. Jonathan, that's not for you because your parents told you that was a pipe dream. That was the story that I created, and I could have lived by that story, or I could scratch that story, I could turn it around and say, you know what, actually, no, I don't want that story. I want a new one. I'm going to write my own story, and I'm going to create my own character, and I'm going to create, not Jonathan Covey, I'm going to create John Covey, who's a successful business guy who does the things that he wants on his terms. This is the same for you. What story have you created that's holding you there? What story have your prospects created that's holding them there? And how can you change that and make a difference so that when you're marketing to them, it's resonating, it's hitting a mark, it's talking to them directly, and it's like, you know what, listen, I understand what you're saying because I feel that same way. This is what marketing does. When you get it right, it resonates, it connects, and it makes just such a strong impact to them people that you're putting that message on as well. Now, if you do need a hand with any of this stuff, listen, I've got some space for some one-to-one stuff. We can do it online, we can do it on Zoom, we can do it on Skype, we can do it just on a phone call, whatever works best for yourself. But I'm going to put a link wherever you're watching this, somewhere on the description or wherever you're watching this, I'll put a link. And if you are interested in just wanting to even just talk to me for a discovery call, let's have a free discovery call. And I've got a framework, a system. I'm huge on frameworks. I love frameworks because they just help you to follow a path, a roadmap, a path. This is a path that I've trod myself. I've walked along this path. I show my clients the same path. They use this same path, so it works. This is not some hyperbole that I've read in a book and I'm just regurgitating back on yourself. This is tried and true. This is stuff that works. So if you need a hand with this, if you're struggling to get your messages to hit mark, to connect, then there's a link somewhere. Like I said, book a call in with me, completely free call. Let's see whether you like me, whether I like you, and see if there's something that we can do together. But right now, for this message sign off, is really think about the character that's been created for your target audience. What's holding them back? What's stopping them getting what they want? What story needs to change, and how can your product help them do that? Until next time, guys. Listen, by the way, if you've got any questions about topics or anything that you want me to talk about in this, I'm going to keep on pushing these out and I'll keep on rolling these out. And if you don't give me a topic, I'll give you a topic. But until next time, if you do have any, look for the email and then send an email across me any questions that you got, and we'll start answering these questions as well. Guys, have an absolutely wonderful time, and I'll speak to you again soon.